it gives them more motivation to publish, to pay attention to a game.
Yeah, and their story is really simple in terms of investment. Also, it was some kind of like it was said as personal investments. They started on their own money, the money of their parents and all that stuff. They didn't go to angel investment.
Yeah, it's nice to have a parents with $10+ million, but you know,
in US it's possible. Yeah, sometimes it's possible in Russia. You can find friends, colleagues, and yeah, it's still possible to access the first round. I mean, the angel round of investment in Russia with your personal relation circle.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Tell us, please, how better register newly created IP.
Okay, simple question. The question was, how do you register a new IP worldwide? Okay, well, you know, basically, there's your several components. One is a patent if you have developed a new special way of playing a game. That's very expensive and very complicated. And if you're just starting, I probably wouldn't go that route. Then there's copyright. Copyright is very inexpensive and easy, and because of the Berne Convention, if you register your copyright in one country, most countries recognize it. And you can register your source code, you can also register the graphics, you can also register the manual, online manual, whatever it is these days that you do, and that will give you protection of the look of the game. And then there's trademarks, and there's different people have different approaches on trademarks, because trademarks are very, they can be expensive, and you can take one property and spend $50,000 registering trademarks for that property. If you want to get crazy and register the name of every character and go to, you know, thinking beyond games, if you want to go by class to publications and toys and filmed entertainment, each class has a separate fee. So if you want to go to the 15 or 17 major countries in the world and register the 4 major classes because you think that your property is going to be very successful, you can spend $50,000 or $100,000. I don't recommend doing that. I think that you know, if you may want to register the name of the game in the EC, and that's a reasonable cost. You may want to do something in the United States, maybe Australia, and you know, if you think you're going to be licensing or going into other media, you can expand. You have some time to do that. There are various treaties that people have entered into. If you register a trademark in one country and you're part of the Madrid Convention, you have 18 months to register elsewhere. But I've seen a lot of people, particularly startup people, who will go out and start to spend lots of that parents' money you know, registering trademarks all over the world. And in many countries like the United States, you have to actually have product and sell the product, or you can't get the trademark. So you can spend the money, register the trademark, and then not do it. But copyright is really your best protection, and maybe one trademark in the name of the game. And before you release your game, please do a search to make sure that you're not using somebody else's trademark. If anybody else has any comments?
And actually, what's our experience is that you do states, Madrid, in some Asian countries, usually, rarely though. So Madrid covered most of the countries, and that's even for the trade for the name of the game could cost you up to $10,000 roughly.
Does anyone know if it covers Russia or not? The Madrid Convention.
As a programmer, I have a lot of questions. How can I protect the source code? Here in Russia and Ukraine, we have a lot of questions about it.
There's no question, actually. There is a regulatory, when you can submit your source code, and once you have a debate on it with somebody, you just get it from the deposit and compare. It's pretty easy, actually.
Basically, it's it's a deposit, so it's fixed the current state of the code, so you can't change it. And so the code take it from the deposit, not you or anybody else. So that's what is working actually. If you like, you can do it.
It's very cheap. It's very cheap. Yeah. So we do it all the time actually.
So it's enough to register copyright in Russia and no.
It's not enough. If you register in Russia, you will have certain advantage for all the other Madrid agreement. So there is a Madrid agreement, and most of the European countries are signatories of it. So they're
He's asking copyright, though.
Copyright.
Madrid is trademark.
trademark.
Right.
If you register,
I know. Go ahead.
if you register your copyright in Russia, you will have protection in many countries around the world. However, in order to use the legal systems in various countries and take advantage of their copyright laws, you have to actually have filed a registration in that country. So for example, in the United States, your copyright is granted to you at the moment at which you create something. You don't have to register anything these days. However, if you want to be able to sue under the U.S. Copyright Act and get multiple damages, statutory damages, which is per each game's copy sold, and you want to get your legal fees back, you have to actually have filed a copyright registration with the Library of Congress and given them 2 copies of whatever it is that you want to copyright. And that's very inexpensive. I think it's $75 for the filing fee. And you can either go online, fill it out yourself, or you can go to somebody, a law firm and have a paralegal do it for, $100, $200, whatever it is, to just file. I mean, it can be complicated at times, but so. I mean, you can also contact and write to the various copyright offices and ask them these questions. They're pretty helpful in dealing with people.
It's actually in Russia, it's pretty much the same. So your copyright protected by the fact of actually creating it, but if you want to additionally protect it, you can submit it into the certain deposit. And then once you have the copyright, it's actually protected worldwide, but with an issue, I would say.
Если вопросов больше нет, то мы закончим.